What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? I am the White Martian, and today I'm going to talk to you about WhatsAmenu, specifically for developers. If you don't know what WhatsAmenu is, I am going to explain it to you shortly. So, WhatsAmenu is a detailed look at what's on your plate. It is an application that I have been building for a couple of months now. So WhatsAmenu is a detailed look at what's in your plate. It basically allows you to drill down to a restaurant, its menu groups and items to see exactly what's on your plate and what's on your food. The reason I built this application was pretty much for that. If you ever went to a restaurant and you were daring and wanted to try something new, you would have an idea exactly what is inside it and have some kind of an expectation of what the item looks like, what it possibly tastes like, without having to ask a whole lot of questions. So WhatsAmenu exists as both a product, which is the website that you're looking at. It also exists as a SaaS or software as a service, that is, the API that currently run this website and with other functionalities are open for someone else to use. So if you drill to a restaurant, you see its menu items. On your left, you have the details about the restaurant or about the place. You have the menu groups or categories, and you have a QR code. The QR code is pretty much this link. If you scan it, it takes you to this website. And in a mobile view, that looks something like this. So if you drill down to one of the menu items, for an example, under quarters, we have King Quarter Full House. If you click on that, you're going to see more details about the item, including images, the ingredients, and any possible potential allergens. You can describe it however you want. And if you did not know what one of the items are in the ingredient list, you can click and you'll be able to see what that is. So each restaurant could have a menu, which is one menu, or it could have multiple menus. As with most restaurants would have the main menu, they would have a drinks menu, they will have a dessert menu, just as an example. So here as well, you can have multiple menus per restaurant. So if I clicked on this, for an example, I don't see anything. If I click on this and I see a different menu. So that's the product side of it. The software as a service side of it has a couple of parts. So to get started, if you're a developer, you can go to this section and click on Get Started. Or you can go to my GitHub profile. If you go to my GitHub profile, you should see WhatsAmenu API documentation. I have opened it here. Actually, it's this one. This pretty much explains what's available for you to use on the API. For an example, you have your auth and accounts, you have restaurant, you have menus, menu groups, which is subcategories, you have menu items, ingredients, allergens, and you can manage each of those items. For an example, your API keys. I've recently just added this today. I have a pull request waiting for me to review that I did myself, and I will deploy it. And if you scroll further down, you get more information. For an example, the types of authentication it accepts for bearer token and API key. You have the routes, and if you say, for an example, click on create restaurant, you could see it explains and it gives you the fields, it gives you the example of the payload it expects. It gives you the example of responses you can get back from that. It's a very detailed documentation with like an example, very verbose. You should be able to get what you want from it. Now, I know there's a lot of Node developers out there, including myself. Actually, I built this platform using Go, but I know there's a lot of Node developers. So I went ahead and built a Node.js client for this API. So this client is open. You could look at the code. You can do any updates if you wanted to. You can open a pull request. It is an NPM package, so you'll be able to install it on your application and you get more details about the usage. So let me run you through it quickly. You pretty much have your API key set and you set up a client, so your HTTP client. At the moment, this expects an Axios HTTP client, but if you pretty much use this default menu HTTP client, under the hood it uses the Axios client. There is a class that's available to bootstrap all the functions that are in this client. So it's on the menu API where you can call into auth, you can call into restaurants, you can call into menu groups and menu items. Or you can use individual modules, which is you can create a single module, say a restaurant, and then you pass a client to it, which is an Axios client. This is just an example usage using TypeScript. There's this client, it's available, you can use it. The third part of this is there is a Postman collection for this API. I went on and created a Postman collection for it, just to kind of expand the documentation and give you more options to what you can do and sort of like simplify your development process if you wanted to pick this up and use it in your own thing. So when it finally opens, it pretty much looks like this. It's a Postman collection with some folders for different entities. So you have your auth, restaurant, menu groups, and so on and so forth. Okay, so to start using this API, you need an API key. There's two ways you can do this. One, you can go to WhatsAmenu website. You can click on Get Started, and you pretty much can create an account here. Or you can create an account here. So I'm going to create it here, and I'm going to create it for a restaurant called Yana's. Sign up. It should send me to a login page, and I can log in. Okay, so once I'm logged in, all I have to do is create an API key. Now this website is a display website, so it doesn't have the administrative side of the restaurant. So creating a restaurant, creating menu and menu items and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and create an API key. Now before today, you could only have one API key per user. I've just updated it so that you can create multiple keys and enable and disable them as you please. I haven't updated this site yet. So let's go ahead and log in first. So when I sign in, I should get a token back. Now let me copy my API key. And I'm going to go to the main. I'm going to click on variables. And I'm going to add my API key here. I'm going to hit save. Okay. Now that I have my API key and I can log in and I got my token, I'm good to go. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a restaurant. So like I mentioned, I'm going to create a restaurant called Yana's. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go ahead and create this. So once I've created it, I get a message back saying it's created. So if I wanted to list my restaurant, I should be able to see that restaurant there. Sorry, these are not my restaurants. These are a list of restaurants. Right. So if I click and I want to see my restaurants, I should see Iana's. So I should see my restaurant. At the moment, it's just that one restaurant and the ID is 17. So I'm going to go ahead and add this ID here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add an image. So that's a burner for my restaurant. So if I go to upload image burner and I clicked on files, I'm going to use this one, open, send. That should give me a path URL, just incomplete. So now if I went to this website and I clicked to the home page, I should see my restaurant there. All right, so there it is. Okay, so when a restaurant is created, it's created with the default menu. So if I go back and I say, list me all the restaurant menus. So if I see list restaurant menus and I click there, I should see a menu named Iana's. And the menu ID is 16. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to add a 16. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to add a menu group or a subcategory to that menu. So I'm going to go and click on create menu group. So I'm going to name it comfort food. And I'm going to hit that. And it should create me a menu group. So now if I want to list all the menu groups for my menu. So let's see, get menu groups. So my menu is ID 16. So I want to see all the menu groups that are in there. There should be one. The next thing I want to do is I want to add a menu item to that menu group. So the menu group is 5.4. So let's go ahead and add 5.4 here. And hit save. And then we're gonna hit menu groups and we want to create a menu item. So this is just a brief summary. And then this is a detailed summary. And then you can add the price. I'm going to say it's $2.50. If there are any allergens, you can add them to this list, ID identifiers only. And you can get those IDs from allergens, which are here. Okay, so we're going to send this. Once it's created, I'm going to go and say I want to get menu items by menu group. So I know my menu group. Now I want to get all the menu items. And there you have it. I have 26. The ID is 263. Okay, let's save that. If you wanted to get, let's say, if you wanted to get a menu, like a full menu, you can go here and get a menu by ID, right? And that would give you all the menu items, all the menu groups, including menu items inside. So it will give you something like this. Pretty much all the data you need to display your menu. Okay, so now that we have a menu and we've added a menu item, let's go and have a look at it. Okay, so you can see I have one item for tribe table. I have my lower description here about the menu itself, and I have one category on the left, which is comfort foods. I have a QR code, which is again just this URL, and then I have the details about the place. Cool. I want to add an image for my item, for my menu item. So I'm going to go to menu items again. And I'm going to click on upload menu item image. Hit this. And I'm going to select the full table, hit send, and I should get again a similar URL or path that I got from when I uploaded a restaurant. So now if I refresh this, I should see something slightly different, which I do. So when I click on that, you can see that's uploaded. Cool. Now I want to add the ingredients of this menu item. So let's go to ingredients. Actually, the ingredients can be added under a menu item because they belong to a menu item. So you need to specify the menu item to add the ingredient. So I'll say it's tripe, right? I have mashed potatoes, and I think there was wors. And more items. Okay. So we go back again and then we click on this. So we need to just refresh this. Okay, cool. So now if I click on this, I should see my ingredients as part of the list. And like I said again, if you didn't know what wors was, you would click on that to just see it. It just uses Google to search. So yeah, that's pretty much what WhatsAmenu is and how it works for developers. So let me know what you think and let me know if you can add any more stuff into this. So right now I'm going to go ahead and remove this restaurant. I'm going to hit that. And then I'm going to hit send. And it should remove that. It should remove that restaurant. So if I refresh this, you should not see that restaurant anymore. So yeah, let me know what you think. And yeah, I'll see if I can add more videos just explaining certain concepts if anyone needs any more information about what WhatsAmenu is. But thank you for watching. Cheers.